This one's for Clobby. Good evening and welcome to State of the Atmosphere. All right, welcome aboard, boys and girls. It is time for State of the Atmosphere. I am your host, Joe's Atmosphere. And before we get started, let's go ahead and bring in our panel. First of all, we've got Jed Reverend Wolf. What's going on, Big Daddy? How you doing? Man. We received some bad news at the beginning of the stream, and we'll get into that as soon as we get the entire panel in here. But we're a little bit down, but we're going to bring it up by the end of the show. Also, we want to bring in our good friend Knock. How you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Hello, doing okay.
Good to see you. We really want to cover here to begin with today, boys and girls. It hasn't been announced on. Let me check his community page real quick and see if it's on here. Yes, it is on here, on his community page. Let me go ahead and bring that up real quick so you guys can see it. If you head to his YouTube channel, you will see this right here. We lost our good friend Clobberin' Times, a.k.a. Mike Alonso, today at 3:15. He, of course, suffered a heart attack, if you will, cardiac arrest is what they were calling it, and he hit his head when it happened. So he kind of got a double thumper, and we knew he was in ICU on a vent. And I got to tell you guys, my wife was a nurse, and when I told her what happened, she was not hopeful. It's a shame. He was a fantastic guy, especially when it came to comic books. He was a comic book encyclopedia, a walking one.
He was.
He had his own comic book store down there in Baton Rouge, and the statement here on his page says, today at 3:15 p.m., our dad, Mike Alonso, joined the stars in a great adventure. He was surrounded by family and friends who loved him very much. Please stay tuned as our family makes preparations for his memorial service. One of his last messages he wrote to someone online was, live long and prosper. I am sure that is what he wants for all of us. He was a real hero. And the GoFundMe link is right here. I will put it in the chat for you guys. If you have the means, go ahead and help these guys out, because I'm sure they're going to have to take care of the funeral. Let me get that in the chat right now. But it's a somber day here in our YouTube sphere with the passing of Mike Alonso, better known as Clobberin' Times. Jed, you knew him longer than anybody on the panel. Why don't you tell us what your interactions with Clobby were like? I only streamed with him a couple of times. And the first time I streamed with him, I think you found out today through Nick Weiser. And the first time that I actually was streaming with him, it was on that right there. It was on his comic book show, and he was really gracious to me. He always was. I'm going to find a better link for this because that is way too long for this. But anyway, go ahead and tell us about your experiences with Mike, better known as Clobberin' Times.
Clobby. The whole purpose of
what was it? The reason why I met him in the first place, because everybody knows I am, to a point, a comic book purist and things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when DC started the whole let's do this reboot New 52 bullshit, I was typing up a storm on Twitter and all this other places and others, you know. And then all of a sudden he started noticing my posts and stuff, and we started talking back and forth, and
Mm-hmm.
we were like, yeah, screw the New 52 and all this.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, a
we
lot of DC fans didn't like that at all.
the reason why we bonded in the first place was our hatred of the New 52 and
Mhm.
our love for classic. And then I told him that, my parent, I love Star Trek, and I met the whole cast several times, and my parents used to do security for them at creation cons
Mhm.
in my city when I was younger, and I got to hang out with them. We started bonding and everything else, and then somewhere around the way we lost each other again, but then we found each other again, and then found out that we were both doing YouTube. And so we're
Yeah.
like, hey, why don't we do YouTube together? And we're like, okay. So he was on the Archivist with me a lot, and I was on his channel a lot and everything else. And so we just did it. And I was even on Nick's comic book show, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
like,
you've done that a few times. Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
we were, well, a bunch, like a
Mhm.
lot. And but even though we disagreed on things, we were still Star Trek brethren and comic book brethren. And
Yeah.
even though we had our disagreements, we would still, at the end of the day, we're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I you know, much respect, because he stuck to his guns all the time.
Always did. He
Yeah,
told
he
you
did.
you knew
Yeah,
you
and that's the
you
thing.
were always going to know what he liked and what he didn't like.
Yes,
And
just like me. That's the reason why we had a little bit of friction
yeah.
sometimes, because we
Mhm.
were so stubborn in what we loved.
Yeah.
But it was for the love of Star Trek and the love of comics just itself.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So,
It's a shame we've lost
you know,
in my opinion, a giant on our end of the YouTube sphere.
yes,
Really,
and
this guy.
it
He did nothing but quality stuff. And one thing I
yeah,
picked up from him, you notice I do all my shows on a regular basis at a regular time.
yeah,
I did it because this guy does it that way.
yeah.
And so, and
And
that,
I'm going to say this: he was a true brethren in comics and Star Trek, and we are missing a captain that will never be there again.
yeah, I know.
But be honest, he'll always be in our hearts and our mind, because we won't lose him that way.
No, no,
And
not at
but
all. He'll always be
I
around. Yep.
I we had a lot of good times together, and I'm thankful that me and Nick and everybody else got to spend so much time with him as we did.
Yep.
We
And
will we
the one guy that I would say we need to send out prayers the most to is not the two people that I know in our
Yeah,
sphere. Of course, his family. We want to
yeah,
pray for his family and everything.
yeah,
But
no.
the two guys I know that are taking it. Well, I say two guys.
I
It's a male and a female. It's Mark D with a C,
Yeah,
and I think her name's Raquel, the one that did Saturday Night
yeah,
Star Trek with him.
yeah. They were
Yeah.
all on the Archivist with us.
So
So,
prayers out to all the family and
and I
friends.
need to get a
Robbie.
hold of Mark.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. But I'm going to reach out to him after our show tonight. But
yeah, I
yeah,
gotta get,
guys,
and
hats off to Klobby. We'll never see another one like him. And you guys
it just hurts, and
drink a
because I
toast to him because hey, man, I'm Irish.
yeah.
I celebrate. That's just all there is
Salute,
to it.
brother. We'll
Mm-hmm,
miss you, Captain.
for sure. Okay, let's lighten it up a little bit. The first guy in tonight was, you know who it was. You know who it was. We just gotta, we gotta, play to his
Oh,
his
he did
ego
come in first.
every week. Yeah, he did.
He
He
did.
was
Okay,
there
I see
first.
it.
Yeah, he was.
There are some who call me Tim.
Yeah, Tim was the first one in, and he was letting us know about it. That's why
Yeah.
we did a little research before the show, and
And then
also Vince confirmed it as well,
yeah,
and
and
Jed went and confirmed it.
I
between
went and
themselves.
confirmed it because so
Yeah,
I
it's
knew
good to
who
see you
had.
guys. We definitely this whole show is dedicated to him, even though we're not going to talk about his favorite things, Star Trek and comic books. We've got other things to talk about tonight, but in the spirit of him, we're going to have a good time. One thing's for sure, the guy loved to have a good time with his friends. So,
Yeah, he did. He did. And like
sure.
that's the thing. Oh, there's a lot of good times that we all had together.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
so you know
Absolutely.
that it's really hard because I've known him for so long. But yeah, even though we did have our disagreements in time, he was still good and had a good heart.
Yep.
You know.
All right, boys and girls, you know how we start the show. We start with the pop culture
Yeah.
update. And I've got to, like I said, we were doing a little research before the show, so I may be a little bit slow on the draw here at the beginning today. I've got to get the box office receipts up here for us. Hang on one second. Knock. I know you didn't know who this guy was, so just let us know how you've been doing this week, man. What's going on with you?
Not too much. Just been, work and just relaxing since uh, taking a break from studying. It's been nice to. Last weekend I did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you just chilled.
nothing. I did nothing. Yeah, I didn't want to think. I didn't want to study. I'm
You
glad
got
to
to
be done studying
unplug
for
when
the
you've been
time
working
being.
too hard, bro. No
Yeah,
doubt.
so I'm just taking the time to enjoy. I'm just kind of. I'm going to be doing a long weekend for 4th of July, so just gearing up for that and just watching some shows. And we got a bunch of shows coming out here soon, so I'm getting ready for that. So I'm rewatching The Boys so I can catch up with that.
Okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
already
You know
watched
what?
it,
I
but
need to.
do it again.
I've got to do.
I
God,
can't
yeah,
rewatch all that. I'll do a recap, but I won't watch.
I've got to
all
watch season 3 because I have not seen season 3.
Season
Four?
3 is rough.
Passed me by. 4 is the one coming up.
Yeah, 4 is where we get the
4 is the one
weird.
coming up. Yeah.
We get the weird chick where she looked normal and she's gonna look like a blow up doll in the new season. So.
By the way, if you don't know who that is, Knock, that's Jimmy. That's Jimmy Bailey.
Hey,
That's our Jim. That's why he's calling you the Knockster. But anyway, okay. We got the box office receipts for last weekend. Of course, Bad Boys Ride or Die was number 1 with 56 million. That's a pretty good opening weekend for movies these days.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I've heard it's good. I got to tell you guys, I'm not a fan of this series. I watched the first one, and it looked like two friends bitching at each other the whole movie, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. You know, I've always liked Martin Lawrence. I think he's a great comedian. And from everything I've heard from people that have seen it that enjoy the series, they're digging it. So, but yeah, it did really well, and from what I understand, word of mouth should keep this one going for a little bit.
You know what I'm glad to not see on there?
What's that?
Furiosa.
Yeah, it's totally
I'm glad to see it's
totally dropped off, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Garfield is still in double digits.
Yeah,
we were right about
still
that
in
one, man.
second place.
And then If is still in there. It's still in there at number 3. The Watchers, which is a horror movie, is at 7 million at number 4. And King of the Planet of the Apes is still hanging on at number 5.
But they're dropping off hard.
Yeah, they are. But still, 5 weeks in, they're still in the top 5. That's pretty good, man.
That's pretty good.
And look what movie's not in that top 5.
Yeah. Right?
Mad Max.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Furiosa.
And it was 800 theaters has been taken out of already after only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that one I've heard is good too, but it's too long and it doesn't have Mad Max in a Mad Max movie.
You know what would have made them $1 billion if they would have put Mel Gibson in that movie?
Yeah, right.
They would have made $1 billion easy.
Yeah, it would make if they put him in there as an old Mad Max.
Yes, I would
one
love
more
to see
run,
that.
right? You know, to save some people.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Yep. Vince says, "How? Okay, not much competition." Yeah, well, yeah, that's one thing for sure. The only thing that surprised me was that this was the excuse me, I got popcorn in my throat. 4th Bad Boys movie. 3 passed without
3 was terrible.
Without notice.
Yeah,
I told you.
Joe, I couldn't hear you. No, we
you got a
couldn't
little bit
hear
of
you
robot
like
going
far
on.
away. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
now we
back.
can hear you.
Okay, you can now. Okay.
Yeah, I can.
I'm sorry about that. I never have been a fan of the series.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not great to me. But from what I understand, there's people that like it.
So
Borrowed heavily from Lethal Weapon movies. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it
do
did.
that. Yeah, for sure.
The first one was the best one. I want to watch 4, so I want to
Yeah.
see this.
Well, we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's the box office receipts for this week. Let's see what else I have here. Hang on. Let's see. We got those up and ready. Let's go ahead and let's do. Let me. I told you guys I didn't. Our investigation took me a second here at the beginning, so let's go ahead and get the bad news completely out of the way here to start with.
Yeah.
We had another death of a significant person in pop culture, but this time it's in the sports world. Jerry West, the guy who you guys may not watch basketball, but you know who this guy is. He, you see that logo right there for the NBA, the National Basketball Association? That is Jerry West's silhouette.
Yeah.
You've seen him on every NBA commercial. Hi, John. How you doing, man?
All right.
Good to see you. You've seen him in every time they show the NBA logo, you see this guy. And I didn't know this until I was watching Rich Eisen today. He is the only guy in NBA history to be the finals of the MVP of the NBA Finals on the losing team.
Yeah.
Now I've seen that happen in the NFL before. That I think it's a Dallas Cowboy that did that. I want to say it was Chuck Howley, but I could be completely wrong. But this guy, Jerry West, and I don't want to speak out of school, but let's see, he led them to a championship in 1972 as a player. And he built the team's Showtime and Kobe and Shaq era dynasties as general manager. And he's the silhouette of the logo, for sure.
And he's been here to Phoenix several times, and I got to meet him a couple times.
Yeah.
See, he was a really nice guy. He was cool as fuck.
I just got to ask though, Jed, is there anybody you haven't met?
Back in the day, I used to be everywhere.
I know.
Everywhere.
We talked about that before. You used to work security a lot, so
yeah, I was everywhere.
We'll get to meet security guards a lot. But anyway, yeah, man, 86. That's a full life.
Yeah.
You know, if you, as far as I'm concerned, if you make it past 85, you've had a full life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy, I mean, I never watched him play, but I know him as the general manager of the Lakers that made all those championship teams.
Yep.
You know, so and believe me, I respect this guy, but I didn't like the team he was doing all this for because I'm a Boston Celtics fan, okay? And that's the biggest rivalry in basketball.
And
anytime you've got the Celtics going against the Lakers, I mean, when Kobe went up against us, and I think they lost against us. I can't remember, but it was one of the highest rated finals in years when they went up against the Celtics.
And see, I've always been Lakers, so
yeah.
If the Suns aren't in it, then I would go boom. Lakers would be my second team.
Yeah, I got you. But
so
yeah, and, John, any thoughts on Jerry West's passing?
Well, he was a legend, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, my basketball era was Magic and Bird.
Yeah, and well, he was the GM back then.
Yeah,
So,
he was.
You know, yeah, he all those championship teams, he was the GM for them.
Yeah,
he was the
first
Showtime
guy.
Lakers. That was the ones with. I think Kareem played with Magic there at the end, didn't he? Pretty sure.
So, yeah.
Kareem played during one of those series with him. But yeah, man, Knock. I don't know how much you watch basketball, but you got any thoughts on Jerry West?
No, unfortunately, I was into basketball in the '90s, and then I moved over to football in the early 2000s. So
Yeah.
that was when I was really young. I had Shaq and Kobe, but
Yeah.
after that it was not.
Yeah. I tell you, to me, he was, they say people are really good ambassadors for their sport. He was. He was a great ambassador for the NBA. I mean, hell, he's the logo. I mean, you don't get to be on the logo unless you are a high character person and a great player. You know what I mean? So, let's hear it for Jerry West. He was one of the greats. He really was.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the next one? I'm going to be zooming in and out here, guys, while I pull up articles. I have them all in one thread, thank God. So, let's see. This one here. This is one John suggested we talk about. I really don't know the ins and outs of this. I may need you to fill in the blanks here, John. But this one today, it's looks like the Skydance Paramount merger is toast.
Yep.
It says, what's next for Paramount after Skydance merger talks fail? What exactly are they talking about here, John? What happened?
Well, Skydance was in talks to basically buy Paramount. And Sherry Redstone basically tanked it.
Wow.
What's Skydance, by the way?
Skydance. Go ahead.
Skydance is another studio. They're basically they've got a couple of divisions, but their animation division is basically Pixar without being Pixar.
Oh, okay.
Because John Lasseter started their animation division and basically hired all their disgruntled Pixar.
Are they the guys behind Despicable Me? Is that who does that one? Do you know?
Not Skydance. I thought Despicable Me is
I'm not sure.
DreamWorks.
Yeah, it
Is
is
that DreamWorks? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But I do know Skydance. Everything with Tom Cruise's name on it is friggin' Skydance. That is the production company that makes all his stuff. So yeah, that's one of the big tent poles they have is Tom Cruise's name for sure on a lot of their stuff. But she put the kibosh on it. How?
Well, my understanding is that she didn't like the deal that they were offering.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was probably the best they're going to get.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
That what Eclay just said.
Yeah, I'm looking right here. Eclay says, good. That means Kurtzman and Bad Reboot are out on a limb. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Paramount has been trying to do something about their failing studio for a little bit.
They should. Everybody that loves that should chip in for Star Trek, like Vince just said.
Right.
The fans should chip in for Star Trek.
Right. That's what they need. They need somebody who's a big Star Trek fan to buy that company.
Yes.
No, wondering for how much Paramount goes for. Maybe Star Trek fans should pass the hat around and buy it, then make Star Trek great again. Look, man. Star Trek again is what he said. Star Trek again.
At least we get one of our fucking franchises back.
I really think at this point, I think Paramount's probably going to start selling their franchises off.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We'll see what happens with it.
They're going to go the way of Fox now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I thought you guys would enjoy this. Now, I finally watched Game of Thrones. And apparently there is another prequel in the works. This one is going to take place 1,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. George R.R. Martin reveals a scrapped Game of Thrones prequel idea has been revived. The 10,000 Ships prequel series has a new writer. We're all very excited about this one. Now, I found it. I think it's down this way. Set 1,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones, the series tells the story of warrior queen Princess Nymeria.
Wait. What about he just stopped doing shit and do the final fucking book?
I don't know. But I'm just telling you what they are doing, Jed.
There's 3 books that he owes us.
Yeah, okay. do the last books. Stop doing this prequel bullshit.
Yeah, he's gonna do anything but. He's gonna do anything but the last 3.
Yeah, he won't do the books everybody else wants.
This is my theory. It's going to happen. In my opinion, this is what I think is going to happen. He's going to pass on. We're going to find out the books have been done this whole time, and he was trolling us.
Yeah,
Man.
I agree. I agree with John on that.
He's like,
really
the
fully
TV
agree.
show was right all along.
I
Here's your books.
fucking agree.
Here's your books.
Yeah.
But
Messed up.
Yeah.
But let me finish reading this thing here. It says she's the founder of the Kingdom of Dorne and the surviving Roynars who traveled from Essos to Dorne following their defeat by Valerian and their dragons. HBO had no comment on the update.
Yeah. I actually have heard this story told in a YouTube video. I went down that rabbit hole of
Did you?
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones history, and
Right.
I do remember this being a thing. So yeah, it's definitely was a scrapped idea.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And as Eclay says, none of the girl. I'm sure it's going to be basically a whole Amazonian tribe, basically.
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna
There
have
it
more
is.
girl boss bullshit.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I've liked. All right, put your phone on silent, you goon. He's
Okay.
got R2D2 all over the place. I've liked what I've seen out of Game of Thrones so far. So I mean,
You
you know.
put the lesbian away, Jed.
But
How is R2 a lesbian?
According to Leslie
to them,
Headland.
according to that interview,
According to Leslie,
R2D2 is a female lesbian.
He's a lesbian. Yeah.
Don't you know? Droids have sexuality. Don't you?
Oh yeah, it's fucking idiot.
I always
By the
knew you were
way-
an ally, Jed. I always knew you were an ally.
Oh my God, he's a male feminist. Look out. Look out. It's one of the scariest things in the
Man,
world. Let's see. What else do I have here on my thread? I've got plenty of stuff about
R2 has special attachments.
yeah.
Fucking equal.
Yeah. That's right. That's what makes him the ultimate lesbian. Or her. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to misgender her. The ultimate lesbian. Okay, so you know what we got to wrap our pop culture update with.
Oh, we got one more. Don't forget mine.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this one.
My Jed surprise.
The
Wait,
Jet
wait,
surprise.
wait,
That's right.
you
Let's do
have
this
a
one
surprise
before
for me.
before we get to the.
Yeah. We definitely have to do this before.
We're gonna need a palate cleanser after this.
Yeah,
no
we
doubt.
definitely.
Oh, this is gonna be
Gonna
some
need one
fucked
after
up
this.
shit if he's saying
Oh,
palate
man.
cleanser.
Here we go, Jed. Check this
John,
out.
pay attention. Look up.
Miss Alabama Sarah Milliken's title is being disputed after fans claim plus-size pageant queen isn't the real deal. This is her right here.
Wait,
Sweet
they have a picture
home
of her here?
Alabama.
Did they have a picture of her here? I mean, we got the video, but I don't want to play the video. Oh, this is going to scare me.
Wait, I need
Honestly,
more
you know,
information.
that was the
What's going
first thing I found. I wouldn't play that video. Let me see if I can
Okay.
find something better.
Yeah, let me
on.
see.
So what's the deal with this? Because it's
So
still not-
she won Miss America
She
pageant.
missed. She won.
Okay.
I thought she won Miss Alabama. She won Miss America.
She's Miss Alabama, and she won the American pageant. Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I thought she was just Miss Alabama. Good lord! You go ahead and just share it yourself. I'll pop what you got up there. Let me see. Rubbing a female plug to another does not give you sparks. I got you, man. We're gonna talk about it. Don't worry about that. She didn't fit on the screen.
Oh damn.
Oh.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh! Go ahead and share it whenever you get a chance. Oh, it's something else, boys and girls. Something else. There we go. Yeah, that's her. She won Miss America. How is that possible?
No, wait.
She beat Miss Alaska or Alabama. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Wait, the only gay Eskimo, you know? That's a song away.
But look,
Dr.
well,
Demento.
you know they got rid of the swimsuit competition.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, they did.
I don't watch it anymore, so yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
never.
don't watch it anymore either because they got rid of the swimsuits.
I haven't watched it in like how long? I used to watch it with my grandfather, but yeah, that's been a couple decades.
Yeah, so this is where we are now.
Yeah.
This is what we celebrate in America. And
Yeah.
I thought Jed would enjoy this. This is
Oh,
in
fuck
America.
no, bro. Here's the thing: you can be thick and still be healthy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She don't look like she healthy at all.
No.
Okay.
And I understand this body positivity thing. I mean, I know a lot of people struggle with weight. I mean, the guy that can talk to this on the panel is John. He can talk to this, for sure. But I know my friend John worked to lose that weight, to make himself healthier. I mean, I don't know, John. What's your opinion of this girl winning Miss America?
I think it sets a bad precedent.
Yeah. I think the whole body positivity thing does too. I think when you break it down, really, I think it's a public health issue. You really need to be preaching to people to take care of themselves. Yeah. I know guys that struggle with their weight. You have. I don't want to talk out of school, but I'm pretty sure Knock has at some point. So, I mean, I know a friend of mine named Jimmy's talked about it, and I was up to, and you guys aren't going to think this as much at all, but when I got diagnosed with diabetes a couple of years ago and changed my whole act, into a food Nazi and dropped chocolate and sodas and everything, I was up to 200 pounds, and that's a whole lot for me. You know what I mean? I've been skinny my whole life. I mean, you can ask Knock. He met me a few years back. I'm not a big guy at all.
Yeah, I was skinny too up to a point. I had to drop.
I'm tall, but I'm not big. Else.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on the precedent thing. And what reasons do you have for saying it sets a bad precedent? Is it what I was speaking to, or is it something else?
Yeah, it deals with health issues that it's like, because that's not healthy at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's dude. Sometimes I think they're just trolling us, man. I'm like, wow, you're kidding me.
We're in the Matrix.
Yeah,
we're in
the Matrix, huh?
It also deals with the lack of consequences.
Yes, true. I say this all the time.
Right.
So,
you watched it with your grandfather. Well, it's certainly not.
It was the 80s. What are you talking about? People didn't want shit did in the 80s, like.
That's why so many fart acceptance non-movement drop dead at 45. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Well, you know what? When I was at Libby Glass, I saw so many of these guys. They're on these motorized carts, these electric motorized carts, and some of them needed them because they had to carry a lot of tools with them. But there was guys that were supervisors that were using these things to just run around the plant, so they didn't have to walk, and they just pack on the pounds. And when they retire 5 years later, they'd be gone. And I know it's from inactivity. Yeah. And every time somebody retired, I would always tell them, go start a business for yourself with something that you love. Find something you love and make money at it. I said, you don't have to get rich. It's just a reason to get out of bed in the morning and do something. You've got to stay active. Go ahead, Jed. I didn't mean
even like. Right now, where I'm in like between things and everything else, I still go walk around and do all this other stuff because got to give yourself a reason to go walk around, do stuff every single day, man. You can't just lax on that shit.
That's it.
So
I walk across campus all the time.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. You don't have to. When Ron and I go to the gym on Tuesday, I'm not going in there lifting free weights until I can't move. I'm getting on a treadmill for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
that's all I'm doing.
Yeah,
and I'm walking at a fast pace. That's all I'm doing. All you have to do is raise the level of your heart rate on a regular basis, and it's great for you, man. It's great for you. You don't have to overdo it. If you're not a workout junkie, still stay active and do something.
You don't have to be a gym bro, basically.
That's it. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I want to say this, John, congratulations on everything you've done with your weight so far.
Absolutely, man.
All of us on the panel are proud of you, man.
He's had to make some changes, no doubt. But
Yeah.
man, look, I sent him a picture the other day. I was like, dude, because I was going through old videos of some of my stuff to like clip out. Now, I made a couple new channels, guys. Go check them out. One of them's Joe's Atmosfere rerun. It was actually Knox's suggestion. He was talking about you should make shorts out of stuff off.
Oh, out of the shit me and Knox.
And
say
actually,
or whatever,
I'm actually right.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to put that on Joe little videos. You know, I'm just going to clip out a piece of the show and put a little start and finish to it. There's a couple of them up there. You'll see them.
Yeah.
But I got that, and I got a video game channel that I'm going to do. And yeah, John he's half the dude he was when I first met him. Literally, he is half the dude he was when I first met him. It's amazing. And yes, I have to say exactly what Jed said. We are all very proud of it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep, the human body was designed to be in motion. That's a fact. That is for sure. Okay, boys and girls, I'll tell you somebody that doesn't need to go to the gym too much. She probably does, though. I mean, you know, it's time for our favorite new spot on the Pop Culture Update.
How do you want me to handle the Sydney issue?
The Sydney issue?
Well, we should have a consensus on how the White House is going to handle it.
Well, I certainly hope the Sydney issue refers in some way to a problem that we're having with Australia, because if it's anything other than that,
Mr. President, Ms.
Sweeney?
See you.
Have her come in, please. I am finished here.
Yes, sir.
There is no Sydney issue.
All right, boys and girls, it is time for the Sweeney spot. Yes. And, of course, to start with, we'll prove visually that she doesn't need to go to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
We got a video that was put up on Twitter a couple of days ago.
Thank everybody for this one. I found this one.
Yeah. Check this out.
Yeah. Millions of other people didn't see it, but you did.
But you should definitely check them out and swipe up because these are my favorites. It's,
She's a pretty good photographer with a mirror.
You should definitely check them out and swipe up because these are.
I want to know how she's zooming in all over the place. That's what I want to know.
Nice little
You know
song.
what
She
I'm
probably put it
But
through
you should definitely check them out.
post-production or something.
These are my favorites.
Who knows?
There's a little slider on your phone. It's
Nice little
pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I think you just swipe up and swipe down and it'll do it. But anyway, that was the first one we had. Another one we had, of course, we're getting the first pictures out of her new $13 million Florida mansion. Let's see, she takes pictures with that dog all the time.
Yes, she does.
But there she is with a friend on a banana boat, and with the doggo, and yeah, she's living the dream.
You need a hello nurse thing, like hello.
Right. But yeah, that's what she's been up to there. And then I was just looking earlier about she paid $70,000 for this vehicle that she got. I think hopefully this will have a picture of it on there. Where is the vehicle? Well, shoot, it's not showing it on here, but it's like this little bitty blue thing. I had a picture of it, but anyway, that's what's up with Sydney. There's nothing new on the Instagram front, so yeah, she's just getting acclimated to the new digs out
Vince
there.
said,
Oh. Let's see.
Yeah.
Sydney loves a big banana. Ah, okay, there you go. Hello,
Hot
nurse.
Hello, nurse.
I like that one, no doubt. Yep. But anyway, that's what's going on with Sydney Sweeney this week. So we are done with the.
There you go, Joe.
Okay. He's got a new one. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I couldn't find a picture of it. I could not find one for nothing. This is the.
Yeah,
This is
there
the.
we go.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like
too much. Too much.
Just close the video.
Too much.
Yeah, close the video. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Wow, that looks like wicker on the inside. Yeah, it's just a golf cart. It's a glorified golf cart. That's what it looks like. But $70,000 for that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That don't look like it's known for 70,000.
Nah, but that does look like a $13 million home, though. Look how big the pool is on the outside. Good Lord, that's crazy. She's got a grotto out there like the friggin'...
Oh, I can't see it. You're like showing... Okay.
No, he got it.
I was flipping through them.
Yeah, it's nice.
Dude, that's pretty nice. It looks like from the movie she was in, too.
Vince says it looks like a Fiat from the 70s. Yeah, that's what it looks. That's what I thought. I thought it was like a hybrid dune buggy kind of a love bug thing.
Yeah, it does.
I like the wicker
it?
sheets.
It looks like a Herbie kind of.
Yeah, from the outside it does, but it's got a flat roof. You know, like
Herbie.
a golf cart would or something like that.
Herbie was awesome, man.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Okay, let's see. I've got to pull up the articles for the next part. All right, now look, boys and girls, we're gonna do a review of episode 3 of the thing that Jed just will not watch, which I completely understand why you won't watch it. I didn't watch. To be fair, I did not watch Book of Boba Fett after the first episode.
Yep.
And I did not watch any of Obi-Wan. I did
Nox
not watch
the
any.
only brave one enough here that will take the hit.
I've told you why that is. He is OCD when it comes to the lore of Star Wars. He has to know it. He would not be able to sleep at night if he did not know it. Let's see. I mean, I remember when Disney bought Star Wars and said that the old stuff wasn't canon. They were putting out new books before they made the movies, I think, right, Knock? And you were
And
like,
I
got a lot of reading to do.
They were still did. They were like 30, 50 years past the movies at that point. You know, they were getting really far along. They had whole wars that the whole galaxy had almost been taken over by a certain species. You know, and they were still recovering from that. And you know, they were the Empire had fully integrated into the Republic. Like it was a whole thing. Like
They killed Chewie by dropping a moon on him.
Yeah.
I heard that. I thought that was a joke.
Oh, I've explained. No. I've explained that one. I explained that one on this show before, a long time ago. But yeah. That was one part of the one of the species they fought, the Yevon Vong. They had to. It was really cool. Real quick. Basically, there was a creature that they dropped. This massive creature that they dropped on this planet, right? And Chewie, Han, and Han and Leia's son, Anakin Solo, had were visiting the planet, trying to help the people. So this creature, basically, what it did every single time the moon orbited the planet, this creature was so massive it would actually suck down the moon a little bit every single time it circled. Now, of course, what does a moon do to a planet when it gets closer and closer to it, right? It just destroys it, right? The gravity destroys it. So this planet was getting destroyed, and in the process, they were trying to evacuate it. So Han, Chewie, and Anakin were there. Anakin Solo were there to try to help the people, evacuate. Well, as they were running back to the ship, Han made it on first. Chewie and Anakin were behind, and the ground started to break beneath them. And Chewie threw Anakin onto the back of the Millennium Falcon, and then he fell because the ground gave way. And then Han came back to try to save him, and told Anakin to go to the front to the pilot seat. And before the ship itself could fall into the ground, Anakin took off and left Chewie. And last thing you see is Chewie roaring at the moon as it crushes into the planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's how Chewie dies.
That's how he dies.
Wow, man. That's crazy.
So it was, that
he went out like
crazy
a champ.
Stories.
Went out like a boss, sounds like.
Yeah, he went out like a champ.
Absolutely.
And it caused a little rift between Anakin and his father, a little bit.
Yeah.
Vince says, have you seen Star Wars Theory's reaction to Episode 3? I just caught TNME. I don't know what that stands for. When they were commenting on it, his face says it all. I'm sure he was crushed. And we're going to get into it. But right now, I want to show you guys. We're going to do the review first, and then we're going to talk about the larger picture afterwards. I'm gonna put this
What
up here
larger
for spoilers.
picture?
Just Jed, stop.
We get it, Jed. You hate it.
When we start talking about larger picture, that is your go light. Okay, so just hang on. Okay, I'm putting the thumbnail up here to let you guys know this is the start of the spoiler section for episode 3. If you haven't watched it, whenever you see this thumbnail come up again, then we're done talking spoilers for episode 3. Okay, so I watched it. These guys were trying not to give spoilers, but it was pretty clear some really relevant shit was going to happen in this episode. And what, Jed? I haven't even
started yet. Come on, man.
And you're already trying to cut me off. What is?
I'm like, who gives a fuck if there's spoilers? It's so bad.
Okay, well, there are some people that care. So, if you remember, one of the things on my channel is we don't poo-poo people.
I know.
We're going to let people that might have had a spoiler, might have a spoiler thing. We're going to let them know. Anyway, this episode, they basically showed us what started this entire story. Why this chick wants revenge on everybody.
It was a flashback episode.
It was a flashback episode. We got to see some more of, not much, but we got to see some more of Carrie-Anne Moss. She was one of the 4 Jedi that showed up on this planet. Was it clear? Now, Knock, you know me, sometimes I miss things. Was it clear why they showed up on that planet? Did they find them accidentally, or were they sent there? Or I don't remember if they
I don't think we actually know why they were there. I mean, we know why they were there, but we don't know like how they knew to be there.
Right. Okay. So I guess this infers it was a disturbance in the Force that sent them there. Maybe, I don't know.
It could be. This is a very fragmented episode, and
it is, and I've got to say,
on purpose, I believe, though.
On purpose, yeah, for sure. But here's my problem with the episode. Okay, they talk about girl bosses. Well, now we have girl gods. Okay, these girls can just produce life without any procreation activities going on. They can do that, and
that's not how that works.
That's not how it works. But I will say this: it's a coven of witches. Now, if we clearly saw the person that created these twins dead, okay, she was dead. Usually, when witchcraft's involved, any spells casted by the witchcraft caster die with them. So why the 2 twins are even alive is a mystery to me. But here's the thing that just kills me. This bitch wants revenge on the Jedi when they didn't do anything fucking wrong. She's the one that killed everybody. It's just this episode is really strange to me, and it wasn't made for me. That's for sure. It was not made for me at all. I mean, first of all, I think the first time I saw witchcraft, now, Knock, you're going to have to help me with this with the lore, because I think you said it was seen before. But Ahsoka's show is the first time we ever saw it in the live action stuff, right? A witch,
pretty much.
And maybe there was some in the lore in the past, but
no, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay, well,
there's a lot.
So I'm clueless to that part, but
there's
them creating life as a.
And
here's my problem with it.
Even the video game.
Anakin Skywalker is now nothing special. If these witches can just create life, they can just,
Hey, that serves up Disney Star Wars. Nothing special.
Well,
that's what it is.
Anyway, Knock, what you are much more knowledgeable about the lore on this thing. What did you think of it? I didn't like it. I thought, you know what? That's too strong a term. This is really coming off to me like fan fiction, dude. Lesbian fan fictions. What is it off like to me? And
probably Sam Max was involved with it, I'm sure.
Man, dude, go ahead. Give me your thoughts on this one, dude.
I think pretty much I'm feeling the same as I have the whole time. I'm very mixed on this one.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. There's something there, to this whole setting and story. I feel like there's something there. And I think they got the wrong people writing it, directing it, and all this kind of stuff. So, whoever the costume designers are, the set designers, those fuckers need to get paid. Like the the music guys, like everyone in the background.
The production's
like
good.
Like they're doing their job.
Is.
It's the shitty writing that really sucks. It's that scene where they have the witches praising to the moon or whatever. That's
horrible.
Exactly what you see when you get, what are they called, those drama schools?
Yeah.
When they're trying to do improv.
Right.
Like that's what it feels like to me. It feels like you just got drama actors and you're asking them to improvise a Star Wars scene, and that's what they came up with.
Now, I will say, as bad as the story was, and as much as I wasn't into it, the mom that created her, the dark-skinned black woman, she's a good actress.
She was a bright spot in that episode.
She was trying to polish a turd, no doubt about it. But she did a good job, And I have a theory, and I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, but I think it's pretty obvious who Smilo Ren is. Now, that's what they're calling the person with the lightsaber on the hill from the first episode. It looks kind of like Kylo Ren with a big grin put across the face, so they're calling him Smilo Ren, or her. And I'm pretty sure it's that horned-headed mother, because we didn't see her in that pile of witches. I didn't see her.
That's a.
I'm pretty sure that's her.
That's a big rumor that's going on around too, and I hope not, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of things about this episode. One, it's not complete because I believe that we're going to get more flashbacks. I think we're going to get it from May's side, and then I think we're also going to get it from the Jedi side as well. Those pile of dead bodies was not May. Understand?
You don't think the fire? They didn't look burnt.
That little freaking little thing that she had was no way she could have started a fire in a stone building.
That's what I was thinking.
There's
man.
no possible way that she destroyed the whole building with just that little thing, that little lantern. Okay,
right.
So one, I think the Jedi were behind it in some kind of way, or even the Zabrak mother. That's their species, by the way, Zabrak. But
is it the same one as Maul?
It is. Yes.
Okay, that's right.
So I think we're going to get in the future episode. I don't know if it'll be the whole episode, but we're definitely going to get more flashbacks of the other sides of what actually happened to all the witches. Did May get temporarily? I know there's some rumors out there or some theories that May had been taken over by her mother, the Zabrak mother, and went temporarily insane, and that's why she attacked her sister, kind of thing, rather than leaving her leave. Because I've heard different reasons why, but and the fact that we don't see the mother at the end is leading to, did she destroy the place, or to keep the Jedi from taking anybody, or did the Jedi destroy the place, kind of thing. Right. So I think we're going to get different points of views, and that's why we got all these cutscenes that are kind of like there's a lot missing, because we're going to see those points of views later. Yeah. So I mean, again, like I feel like this episode was really good for the most part. As far as I feel like the mother did a great job. Now, as far as the whole creation thing, there's other theories about that as well. There's actually a theory out there that the twin sisters are actually clones. And they're not actually created by the Force.
That would explain a lot.
Because remember, this whole thing is they still need to set up why Emperor Palpatine was a clone and how he came back, right? And that's what these shows are tentatively supposed to do. Whether you like that storyline or not, but and I'm kind of hoping that's true. But let's go with the other obvious one, reason or theory that the mother, the actual mother, created them. Now, we're kind of wondering if Darth Plagueis plays any kind of role in this show, because there's a chance that this is where he learned it, kind of thing. So the actual act of creating a body is when you use manipulate the midi-chlorians inside of a person and then create this life. So there's nothing in lore saying that Darth Plagueis was the only one and the first one to do this, as far as I know. So, you know, I do believe that makes Anakin less special.
Theory. Yeah, I've heard that theory that maybe Plagueis created Anakin to supplant Palpatine, and that's why Palpatine killed him. I've heard that theory.
I mean, you know, the Force has done a lot of crazy things in the extended universe lore. We've had one where, you know, and Eclay mentioned it earlier, that Darth Bane's apprentice was a sorceress herself. So she did a lot of tricks with the mind. Darth Bane had actually learned a Sith technique that actually takes over the mind of another user, so that if they had a stronger will, they could take over another person's body and essentially live forever. Yeah. And we've had other dark powers where we had one where this guy lived for he found out how to live for 600 years. We had another one where you have the Dark Emperor, who just sucked the life force out of everybody on the planet, and that's how he lived for a long, long time.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I don't feel like there's a big, you know, surprise that, you know, someone else, especially right before Anakin, was able to get created by the Force in this thing. And while I agree that could potentially make Anakin's thing less special, because it was one of the things that made him so unique. If that's the case, but, you know, so I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that. I still want to learn more.
I gotcha.
To me, it's all about just the shitty writing.
It is. And putting the message in there does not help their cause. They could have made it male and female. They could have had warlocks with the females. You know, they didn't have to make it an all-female thing.
Well, the only thing, so especially when it came to the witches and Zabraks as well, the men were more. It was like Amazonians, where men were just kind of the fuck boys and the fodder. Right? They didn't have any power. Right. So it still would have ended up kind of being kind of the women power thing. Right. Which is fine, whatever. That's in the lore.
Jed, I applaud you. He's muting himself.
Yeah, right.
He's muting himself.
So I mean, yeah, like I said, for me, I'm still gonna watch it. It hasn't turned me off quick. I just wish they had better writers. Just the whole thing where the sisters are always fighting, and yet they do that dumb little kumbaya shit that they do. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
It's horrible. What did you do? No, what did you do? No, what did you do?
Stop it! Stop doing that. You know, it just. The acting is just awful. Yeah. So, but there's so many good things. I like that. By the way, did you know that the master that died in the second episode, right? Yeah. You know that's Torben in Game of Thrones.
No, I didn't know that.
That's Torben. That's Torben from Game of Thrones. The guy that took over for Joffrey, the kid.
Wow.
Yeah, the one that kills himself. So he kills himself in two different franchises.
Now that I'm imagining him with blonde hair, that is him, isn't it?
Yeah, and you see his younger version in that one without the dumb beard that they obviously added onto him.
Let's bring in Jed for this part of the conversation. Look, may the thread be with you does not sound good to me. It just doesn't. And I know you're going to say it's just another way of explaining it. You know, she sure made it sound like she could manipulate it and do whatever she wanted to with it. You know what I mean? Which leans towards the Sith side, because we know that the Jedis all use it for friggin' knowledge and defense, right? And this chick's talking about controlling shit and making things happen. You know.
Well, now this is sort of the area that I'm not, because this was part of the Way of the Open Hand. Is a group from the second phase of the High Republic, which takes place about 200 or 300 years before this.
Which, by the way, guys, this is what this is all about: is the High Republic.
That's right. So. And now these guys hated the Jedi. They felt like they were manipulated. I don't know. I'm gonna get into that part of the lore here soon. I'm getting the books now, but from what I understand, they hate that they think that the Jedi are misusing the Force. They shouldn't even be using it at all, and they just pick the fight too. And then these guys turned into the Nilhelm, however you pronounce their name, I can't remember. Were basically just a bunch of thugs. But you know, so So that kind of goes along the same vein, where that it's another religion, and the reason you don't hear about any other religions is because the Jedi pretty much stomped them all out in fear.
Well, to what Ben Kenobi said to Luke in Return of the Jedi, certain point of view, they are the bad guys, right? Mm-hmm. From a certain point of view, yeah, you can twist things any way you want, but they seem like bad people to me. Seemed like bad people to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seemed like they're bad people. Jed, I know you're not watching this show, but I know you heard about the subject matter on it. And I have to tell you, first of all, a lot of the people in our sphere get really crazy about this stuff. And me, I try and stay even-keeled about it. But this episode, it really, like I said, they really leaned into the all-female part of it, And we've heard before that the Force is female, right? That Kathleen Kennedy said all this, right? And he's still on mute. I don't know. He might have gotten a phone call or something. But I want to say hi to everybody on the green brand watching us as well. I just popped out the chat, so if you got anything to say in there, let me know. I'm monitoring it. Actually, I'm trying to train myself to do that. I get everything in here on Twitch and YouTube, but I don't get anything from the green brand. I can't say what it is. But
are you all caught up on there, John?
John's not watching it.
Oh, he's not watching. Okay,
he's not watching it at all.
Gotcha.
And look, there's a lot of people not watching it. I want to show you these guys, these articles here, and really, I think they've achieved what they were trying to do, and they're trying to split the fan base is what they're trying to do, and they're actually upping their numbers with hate watching. This is something the Quartering brought up the other day. Some people are, like myself, watching it so I can comment on it.
It's content.
It's content, yeah. And people are watching it to, talk about it. But these articles, man, Forbes magazine, which is not really known for, talking about critiquing things. The Acolyte Episode 3 review, one of the most disappointing Star Wars episodes ever made.
Well, no shit on that one, huh?
But this is what I'm talking about. Look, we've got other ones saying the Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars. You are. Yeah. I'm responsible for their bad writing, apparently.
Oh, no, it isn't. It's those fucking idiots at Disney.
And this one I saw earlier today that I thought was
only 2 moves left there, bud.
I'm telling you, 2 moves left. The Acolyte makes massive retcon to Star Wars lore, reveals lesbian space witches created life from the Force long before Darth Plagueis. That's the thing that intrigues me about this entire thing is, have they broken the lore, guys?
Yes, they have.
By doing this.
They broke tons of shit in it.
But to Knox's point, they may not have. They just may be trying to explain it from their point of view. But as a guy that doesn't know the lore as much, I can tell you this: when I was watching this, it looked like lesbian fan fiction to me.
It is.
That's what it looked like.
That's all it is. And remember, this came out during so-called Pride Month.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident they dropped this series.
No, none of this was an accident that this all came out during so-called Pride Month.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna let you go, Jay, because you were being really awesome and letting us discuss this.
I just sat back.
I did want to say one thing about this, and I was thinking about this earlier. When you're talking about the toxicity of Star Wars fans, you're talking about people that have watched this for the ones that picked it up when it first came out, right? Since then, which is what? How many years?
Dude,
40
years.
You've had people that have come in that have.
We just had a watch party, if you remember, for the 47th anniversary of the first Star Wars.
So and then you've got the people that are born into it, like me, who have literally our entire lives have been a fan of the show.
Yeah.
And then now you're trying to appease people that might not even be full-fledged Star Wars fans in the first place.
Wow, it
right?
sounds like Doctor Who, right?
So yeah, it's the same thing. So you're trying you're basically blaming the old fans by trying to get new fans, and then you lose the old fans, and then after this show is done, like after this season's done, those people probably won't even come back anyways.
No.
So not only have you lost your old base, your new base is probably not going to be, because they're not Star Wars fans in the first place. They're literally, these ones that you're trying to cater to are only temporarily enthralled by it because it's a show that expresses your view, but then eventually they're probably going to lose interest and not come back to it. So you're going to lose them eventually, most likely, and then you've already lost your fan base, the actual fan base that coveted this for so long.
Yeah. So
and then that's the end of it.
Yeah, and here's how the money goes. It goes from the originals, like me and Joe, and then the originals either had kids or they have nieces and nephews or whatever.
And Knox one of them too. He came up with the prequels. So
you have the originals, the kids, the extended family, and then you have the prequels, and then you piss off everybody from. That's what they did in Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who was generational. It wasn't just one generation.
Oh yeah, my stepson David loves that fucking show. He loves it, and he tells me about the different doctors all the time. Yeah. And but you know what? He's a lot like Knock. He's so into the lore, he watches the new stuff just to see what they're doing, hoping they can fix it.
It's
you know what I mean?
No, it's dead.
He's a lot like that. I know.
After this last bullshit, they killed Doctor Who dead. There is no regeneration. There is no coming back from this.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Star Wars
I feel like I need to watch Doctor Who now just to see how it crashed and burned.
Well, it's the same thing. They're bringing their. There's no better way for me to say it. There's sexual politics into it.
Yeah.
And guys, what makes the most money? What out there makes the most money? The best stories do.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with friggin' sexuality or identity politics or any of that shit.
Well,
I mean, just look, the biggest movie of the last couple of years was Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Okay? It's got diversity. There's female pilots. There's African American pilots in it. There's people across the board. But do they make a big point of it? No. Do they have a big, lesbian relationship going on in it? No. They don't have any of that stuff.
No.
But it's all implied. It's under the surface. What they did was they told a great fucking story. And by the way, you Star Wars fans out there know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
All they did was recreate the trench run.
They did the trench run. And the minute that I was watching a movie and they're like, you got to hit a hole this time, I was like, oh my God, they're doing the trench run from Star Wars and Top Gun 2. This is fucking awesome.
What about that tower? What about that mountain?
Yeah. I was like, I freaked out. I was watching it with one of my sisters and another of our friends are like, oh shit, he just figured out what it is. He's going ballistic.
By the way, we're done with spoilers now, guys. Yeah. So if you want to get back in here, there's the thumbnail. We're back in.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that they have to wrap Star Wars in identity politics. It's a shame they're doing that. Well, first of all, they don't know how to write it. I mean, even Knox says the writing is super bad. I mean, the Jedi are good. No, the Jedi are bad. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you? I just come on. And that whole thing with what was it? The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Yeah, their little mantra is.
What in the hell are you doing?
I don't know. I feel like, and I think for me, I thought it would have been so much really cool because for me, I was thinking that maybe she did a little mini nuke. May did because the whole thing is that she burned the whole whatever.
Right.
And
that's what it looks like now at this point. You're right. We may find out down the line because those people didn't look like they were burned. They didn't.
No. And it definitely and it certainly wasn't that. No, but when you first hear the story in the first couple episodes, right, it's that she was at fault, and I feel like instead of doing this whole because they're trying to do these twists and turns and they suck at it, but I think it would have been cooler if she did cause all of it.
Yeah.
But it was in a way that was Jedi. This is my biggest issue with the show right now. It's just nothing that's being done is being done as Force users.
No.
Yeah.
Right. And
No.
Like there's nothing like if she had embodied that, like if she took that flame, right, and absorbed it into her body, and then released it as a mega blast, that would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
See,
Instead,
I
she
agree-
just threw it at the
like, I
wall,
agree with
and
Knock
then
on
just
that.
fire appeared. Like it was so dumb, and it's like, okay, there's stone everywhere. What the hell are you burning?
I
Like,
was
and
wondering
it was-
how the metal door was fucking burning. I really couldn't figure that out.
It's just like there's things you could do to make this so cool, and you guys are choosing to use the most asinine ways to do everything. Like there's just no influence of the Force in this show at all.
Yeah, it's a shame because I tell you, I've said several times my favorite part of Star Wars is the spiritual side of it with the Jedi, and we're just not getting that. They've reduced the Jedi into mall cops in this, and
Yeah. You don't pull your lightsaber unless you're gonna kill someone. No, that's not a gun. It's not
right.
I saw a montage earlier where they're like, Disney Star Wars now, and then they showed like, they did that line, right?
Yeah.
And then they showed the prequels where they're pulling out lightsabers all over the place, especially like during the Clone Wars and just lightsabers all over. Just so many instances of them pulling out lightsabers. It happens all the time.
Especially in the second movie where you saw everybody had a lightsaber. They're like, pfft. In the second prequel, everybody had a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like fucking like.
Even the little Padawans had it. It's just
The
like
Padawans, before Anakin go in and fucking
Who's
slaughter
writing
him, they had fucking lightsabers.
I always thought that was kind of strange. These must be really advanced kids because I thought one of the last steps of becoming a Jedi was creating your own lightsaber.
It is.
Yeah.
They must have started when they were infants then. Damn.
They don't let you have a lightsaber.
It was definitely a little weird in the Clone Wars. I can't explain that away because I haven't delved too much into that history, but
right.
Yeah, generally your rite of passage was to get your first Kyber crystals. So I'm not.
Because I remember in Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader's really impressed by Luke's lightsaber. That he's.
No, yeah, and it was definitely a rite of passage. I don't know if maybe those were like training sabers, which kind of weird.
That's
they look.
I was wondering that too.
Yeah, and they really did look like actual lightsabers, but and they had actual training sabers when they were practicing.
Yeah, they do.
I just think they. So I feel like that's what it was for them.
Okay, so if you go back, was it Rebels or was it the one where the kids went and had to go get their Kyber crystals?
That was Clone Wars. Rebels, everyone's dead. So
yeah, it was, so I was trying to figure out which one.
It has to be Clone Wars. So yeah,
it has to be Clone Wars.
Yoda takes them to the snowy planet where they all go to get their crystals. And it speaks to them and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and then you find out they all had to work together to get their crystals.
That's why I keep these guys around. They teach me this.
It ended up as like you got to go get your own shit, but Yoda brought them there on purpose, so they had to work together to get their crystals to get the hell out.
I'm one of the to explain the kind of Star Wars fan I am. I'm 1 through 6 guy. The about the only thing I've liked that Star Wars is done is Rogue One. I like that movie. The Solo story.
Oh God!
I think the books are better about that. But
the books are way better.
I mean, the first book I ever read was at Star's End, the first Han Solo book. That was the first one I ever read. But when it comes to the Disney trilogy, I mean, I could watch Force Awakens again, but the rest of it is just. I can't watch that last one. That last one pisses me off so bad. It's not even funny. I'm like,
you know what? The one that
why did you feel like you had to bring this guy back? The thing that really breaks it for me, and I know you lore fanatics will understand this, when the guy from Lord of the Rings, who's with, they're having one of their planning sessions underneath an X-Wing or underneath the Falcon, whatever it is, on that planet where all the rebels are hiding. Mm-hmm. He says, yeah, they figured out the cloning. And was it Mary or Pippin? It's Mary. It's Mary, the one that was hanging out with the girl in the battle there at the end of it.
He was in Lost.
He was in Lost too. He says secrets only the Sith knew. I'm like, Are you serious?
Bullshit.
Did you just fucking say that, man?
That
Are
was
you
like-
kidding me? They just fucking fought an entire war with clones, and they weren't
was-
made by Sith people.
It was called the Clone War, you fucking idiot!
You know, when I heard
Okay,
that,
hold
I was
on.
like, what?
I gotta defend that a little bit. I gotta defend it because this is lore. This is actual lore. Basically, the Empire wiped out everyone that knew about cloning the original species. So, technically, that is correct. That Emperor Palpatine was the only one that had control over the cloning process at that point.
But there was still history that it was known as the Clone War.
Was it? No. The
Yes,
Clone
it
Wars
was.
process. No. Clone Wars process was not known by many people.
Anyway, the planet that created all the clones was not run by Sith. It was run by an alien race. What are they called? That water planet they were on?
Caminos.
Yeah, right.
Caminos,
Camino.
that's
Yeah,
Caminos.
that's who the Empire eventually wiped out. And by the time of these movies, only the Empire had that knowledge.
Right.
I would like to point something out in episode 4, A New Hope.
Yeah.
Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah.
They say you fought in the Clone Wars.
See?
Mm-hmm.
So they knew it was the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they also said you served my father in the Clone Wars. So, there's a little bit of stuff that you have to forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You served my father in the Clone Wars. That is verbatim a line in that,
Yep,
original
it is.
movie.
Mhm.
And he did not serve, Kenobi did not serve Anakin. So, let's...
Yeah, but
Just saying. Just saying. If you want to go
Wait,
word for
she
word with
wasn't
me...
talking about
her
Anakin.
adopted father.
She was talking about her adopted father.
Okay, all right.
She's talking about Fail.
Ariel
Didn't
says
say
Joe
them?
didn't like that they brought back Billy D. Williams. No, I did like the fact they brought him back. I just thought it was a stupid fucking use of him.
Yeah.
What are the chances he's on that fucking planet they end up on? Come on. What are the chances? They could have used him so much better than they did. Look, you've heard people talk about this all the time. They did not in that Disney trilogy, they did not use these fucking older characters to their potential. And I didn't want to see an entire movie of the old characters. That is not what I wanted. But you could have at least, for me and the rest of the people on this panel who love Star Wars, you could have put all of them in the same place at the same time.
I'm going to make the example I always make. Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
All we wanted was everybody in the costume.
Yeah, Cobra Kai has
Yeah.
the best
That's all they had to
example
do.
of this.
Yeah.
You see the old characters in the first episode, and then you get slowly introduced to the new characters along with the old characters to where we get to a point where the old and the new characters are helping each other out to go fight the old new bad guys and the old and new bad guys.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they're going to have 3 parts in this next season is because the old guys and the new guys are all going to fight against the old and new bad guys.
I have no idea what's going on. So
You get what I'm saying. They could have put those guys together.
Yeah.
I mean, the only ones
They did it.
the only guys who were in the same room together were Han and Leia. In the first one, and that was
And
it.
Chewie.
What do you got here, Knock? What do you got for us?
I saw this clip a couple of days ago. I thought this was kind of interesting. This is George Lucas at one of his cons doing a Q&A or whatever, and he's talking about females in Star Wars.
I want you to expand that. You got a little bit of an echo because of certain things, and I'll shut up, and we won't worry about it. But blow it up as big as you can before you
We're making.
Yeah, I can't really keep. It's cutting it off. So let me see. Yeah, I can't really do it. It's more what he's saying than what he's showing.
Okay.
There's no women in the movies. I said, who do you think the heroes are in those films? What do you think Princess Leia was? She is the head of the rebellion. She's the one that's taking this young kid that doesn't know anything on this boisterous, I know everything guy who can't do anything and trying to save the rebellion with these clowns. I said, she's the hero of the movie. And it's the same thing with Queen Amidala. even though she has Jedi on her side, she was still the hero prime mover. And they said, well, but there's no women, you know. I said, you can't just put a woman in pants and expect her to be a hero.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know what? You can't say it better than that. You can't. It's stupid to think. It's stupid to think that women weren't in Star Wars before. You know, and they've always been in Star Wars. They always have been. And he's absolutely right. In the first movie, Leia is the fucking one that gets everything done. You know?
Who's the main one in Rogue One? Who's the main character?
Pretty sure it's a chick. It's the daughter of the guy that developed the Death Star.
Yeah, and it was a great story.
Yes, it was.
Rogue One was just a snuff film. That's all it was.
Well, I mean, we knew what was going to happen to him. You know?
That's Rogue One, the snuff film. Like everybody dies. Yeah. Like.
Question: is it proper Jedi procedure to hand an unknown child your lightsaber and let them play with it while they point it at your face?
Yeah, it's a good question. He's talking about the scene in the third episode.
Right, I know
what he's talking about. But, you know, I think in that instance, he was playing on her emotions with her interest of being a Jedi. So it's smart, not really. Would I do that? Probably not. No. But I feel like if she was like a 5-year-old, it might be a different question as opposed to how old she is at that point in time. I do kind of agree that was kind of weird and unnecessary. I don't think that was needed so much, but
he was trying to show trust. It was pretty obvious that's what he was.
He was already trying to build a rapport with her specifically. Yeah. So I mean, I can kind of.
By the way, the two shining spots of this show so far are the guy I've been calling Fu Manchu, the main Jedi guy, our head investigator for the police squad known as the Jedi. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a South Korean actor. And our guy, Brian from That 70s Rock Fans channel, he's like, please don't take any more parts for Disney, man. Because he's a big fan of this dude. He watches a lot of South Korean movies.
We still need season 2 of Squid Games.
He's from Squid Game.
Yeah. Is he?
I want.
Okay.
Apparently, he learned English just for this role. If
really?
What I read was correct. I read that somewhere.
He's
not
doing
sure if
a great
that's 100%
job.
Sure, but
he's very deadpan, which is what he needs to be as a Jedi Master. You know, I think he's doing well.
I want a season 2 of Squid Games because I want to see how he gets out of this. Because I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, there's more shit in the second season. You're gonna like, how is this gonna happen?
Right. So, I don't know. Are they going to make a second season of it?
Yeah, they said.
If they do, I'm going to have to be forced to watch the first one. So
I had to. It was such a cultural phenomenon. If we were, I don't think we were doing our show.
We weren't. No, we weren't. Show when that came on.
If we were doing that show, Joe, it would have been your homework to watch it.
I would have had to do it.
We could not have done a pop culture show during that time period without watching that.
Did you guys do your homework I gave you last week? Did you watch? God, what is the name?
You don't even remember what it is.
J-Lo's. That's because I didn't finish it. I actually tried to do it, and I couldn't.
The Atlas or whatever.
Yes.
I did not. I literally forgot all about that.
I took a look at it, and I was.
It probably would have been perfect this weekend because I was trying not to think about anything, so it probably would have been the perfect movie.
Give it a watch if you want to. Look. That Martin, the whole reason why I watched it is because Martin was saying that it was good.
It was a good,
and
I'm so suspicious of that.
This actually, it was decent, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. It's think Aliens meets the Terminator. But E. Clay Thomas says it was awful, but what makes it awful is J-Lo. She's like, if they'd have had a different actress playing Atlas, which Atlas is the character that J-Lo plays. She is just
Atlas isn't the mech?
Huh?
Atlas isn't the mech?
No. Atlas, that is her.
No, I don't want to watch it.
Huh?
I don't want to see
watch it.
Now you want to watch it?
No, now I don't want to watch it.
Now you don't want to watch
it.
No, well, the whole thing has to do with the relationship between AI and human beings. That's what the main thrust of the movie is. And that's why I say it's like, the reason why I say it's like Aliens, you've got the scene where you've got the fucking too tough military group being fucking debriefed by somebody that's been there and done that in J-Lo. She's the Sigourney Weaver in the conversation, right? From, the famous scene in Aliens where she tells them all to shut up. That one of these things wiped out my entire crew in less than 24 hours, kind of thing. When she finally gets those guys to shut up, J-Lo can't have this moment. She just can't. She's just coming off like a retard, man. It's just, it's Jello. That's it. Exactly, Ariel. Jello. That's it. They should have had a different actress.
Yeah, like Sydney Sweeney. Just throwing that out there.
If Sydney Sweeney been in this movie, you know what? They would have knocked it out of the park. Yeah. And I guarantee you, every one of the soldiers would have paid attention to her. No doubt about it. But yeah, it was so predictable. Me and my wife were watching it, and by the big climax of the show, I turned it off finally because I was like, I know how this is going to end. There's no reason to watch the rest of this. I mean, they borrowed for so much shit, guys. It's really, it's just I don't know, what do you call it? One of those B grade copies of another movie. You know what I mean? You know how they'll make a movie with a title close enough to the other one just to get you to pick it up in the
Blockbuster.
In the Blockbuster. There you
go. Yeah,
Mockbuster.
Yeah,
Mockbuster. That's nice. Okay. I hadn't heard that before. That's funny.
Okay.
Asylum's famous for those.
I can't see J-Lo.
She's not an army person. She's the advisor. And
I don't want to see.
She ends up in one of these mechs.
This makes me not even want to see the movie more now.
I usually watch these kind of shows. Like I'll treat it like I did She-Hulk. I'll drink, and then I'll probably enjoy it immensely.
Exactly. There you go.
I watched all of She-Hulk drunk every single episode, so and it made it very much tolerable because there was actually some funny times, and again, maybe that was the alcohol, but still.
I went through the first show sober and I couldn't do the second one.
Well, okay, so I see your problem there.
Yeah,
you were missing a component. I had.
Okay, I just realized, guys, there's a couple of things actually, there's one that we didn't cover in the pop culture update, and I've got to find it real quick. Let me do a search. Tell us what you guys are watching right now, though. I'll throw this out there. Me and the wife, after our Game of Thrones experience, which you guys actually talked me into, and we did enjoy. Mm-hmm. I've been looking for some of this other stuff that has been highly touted, and I have missed. So the next one we're on, and we're enjoying it. As soon as the show's over, before I do my video game show tonight and do Mass Effect, we're going to watch the season finale of season 1 of Yellowstone. Taylor Sheridan's first solo effort as a writer-director. So that is a good show, but I got to tell you, oh my God, his youngest son that's married to the Indian girl, that guy can't stay out of trouble to save his fucking life. He is just, sometimes I think he's just mildly retarded, but it's pretty good. So tell people what you guys are watching right now, starting with Jed. What are you watching?
Okay, let me see if I can share the screen.
Go ahead.
Okay, is it coming up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, put the screen up for me.
Yeah, sure.
That is what me and Kay are watching right now.
Okay, Ragnarok. Okay.
When a kind just there's 3 seasons of it. When a kind gesture grants him ancient powers, a high schooler must learn how to be a god before dangerous enemies catch up to him.
Does he find Mjolnir or something? What's going on there?
You gotta watch it to see, man.
It looked like he had a hammer in his hand.
Yeah, he does. Okay, so it's the giants versus the gods, basically, and it's all and it's made for Norwegian people, so you're gonna get a good show.
Yeah. Is it in English, or do I have to read subtitles?
You can. They have an English dub, which I don't recommend, but we're watching it, which it's okay, but I watched it the first time through Norwegian because that's where some of my family come from. So
There's a Norwegian series I'm trying to track down.
Yeah, and
Fortress Norway.
Yeah, so I watched it in Norwegian because I know that's where some of my family comes from. That's the reason why me and Jace get along so well. When you hear me and Jace go and do shit, we're like, yeah, our family and shit. And they have English where you can have it in English, but the translation gets messed up somewhat. So you got to have subtitles on the screen so you know what they're talking about. So
Norway's made some good disaster films too.
Yeah.
Joe, I got a list here, by the way, and it might be something worth thinking about for next week if you're up for it. We haven't done a top list of TV shows.
Oh.
And so your question kind of like, okay, so what are the top 100 TV shows? Of
Yeah, half an hour left is a little bit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would probably be better for a different show, but
that's
since
one
you
whole
asked that
show.
question.
Yep.
But for me, I'm watching. I'm rewatching The Boys, trying to get ready for the new season to come out. I'm gonna rewatch The House of Dragon. I've also been watching another show that I really like because I really like lawyer shows. So I've been watching The Good Wife, which is a show.
Oh,
on,
you are
on CBS.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
and then a spinoff from that was The Good Fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spinoff of that show, and then another spinoff which just started. Is Elsbeth, which is another side character from the Good Wife. So it's spawned a couple things, but it's a lawyer show. I just, for whatever reason, man, it comes from Law and Order, right? The OG Law and Order, you had a half hour of the cops investigation, blah blah blah, and then the second half you had the court, right?
Real quick, let me address E. Clay Thomas real fast. Yes, we are watching House of the Dragon. Can't wait to see. My wife actually thought that. The second season had started this weekend. It's this week that it starts. But anyway, Knock, dude, I understand. They've had some great throughout television history. I mean, dude, Perry Mason was a lawyer show, and everybody watched that. My brother and his wife watched that every night. They loved
Perry Mason was awesome. I used to watch that with my grandparents.
Was a big one when I was first in the Army in the 80s. That was a huge one. Jimmy Smits, I think, was on that show.
L.A. Law, yeah.
Yeah, L.A. Law, yeah. And then, let's see. Well, who can forget Shatner and, what's his name?
T.J. Hooker.
No, not T.J. Hooker. Boston Legal. Who was the guy that was he was the voice of Ultron in the second Avengers
I know
movie.
who it is. I just
James Spader. James Spader and fucking William Shatner. If you have never watched fucking Boston Legal, you need to watch that show. You'll laugh your ass off.
And
but
Matlock was
we
good
are
too.
going to be reviewing House of the Dragon as soon as it starts. Trust me. Everybody, just remember now, watch it before our show. Watch the next one because we're going to be doing that one for sure. I'm all caught up on it now. Been watching it. Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Watch what before the next show?
Oh, whenever it drops, House of the Dragon.
Okay.
Reviewing every episode.
Yeah, that's one of those shows where I can't watch week to week because the spoilers are fucking everywhere. So
yeah,
I gotta watch it as soon as I can. Yeah, you just have to watch it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make sure you watch it before the Wednesday, of our show, because we're going to be reviewing that for sure. But anyway, John, what are you watching now? Let's finish with you.
Absolutely nothing. But I will be watching The Boys and the
House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to be watching. Now this is next month in July, but the second season of Hit Monkey starts.
Hit Monkey, yeah. I think it's funny that they've made an animated show out of that character, out of all the characters in Marvel Comics. I think it's funny. Arrow, yes, Matlock was another good one. Another good lawyer show. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I'm watching Sweet Tooth. Has anyone seen that? It's pretty good. What service is it on, E. Clay? Let us know. I've never heard of it.
They lost me on the second season.
Really? What's that?
Yeah.
Which service is it on, John?
I think it's Netflix.
Netflix? Okay.
Yeah, it's Netflix.
By the way, just real quick, Rebel Moon Director's Cut is August 2nd.
Yeah.
August 2nd? Rebel Moon Director's Cut?
The Director's Cut, yeah.
So the R-rated version's coming out?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it's going to polish that turd, but we'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to polish
give it a try.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a try, too. Look, I am not a Zack hater at all. I like Man of Steel. I know it's not true to the comics Superman, but I enjoy that take on it. A little bit more grounded Superman. I do dig that. As many flaws as Batman versus Superman has, it's got some great stuff in it too. I mean, I challenge anybody. I say this all the time. Tell me a better Batman fight scene than when he goes after Martha Kent. There isn't one.
Yep.
He takes on fucking 15 dudes at once, and it's awesome.
Straight out of Arkham Asylum.
I'm telling you, man, and it looks like stuff that he does in the comics all the fucking time. He just busts people up, right? Let's see, Netflix, yeah, okay. I watch For All Mankind, yeah. And by the way,
I got to get back into that show.
Ariel says, here's a spoiler knock. The dragons have a house. Actually, they're affiliated. If you watch that show, they're affiliated with several houses. So, several houses have dragons. Let's see. I like the first 3 seasons of All Mankind. Yeah, I need to get into that one. That's going to be one that I visit down the road, kind of like I'm doing with Yellowstone right now.
Yeah, I haven't watched the 4th season yet of that.
I know John is a big proponent of that show. He loves that one. Yeah. But anyway, look, the one thing on the thumbnail we do need to get to, and we could talk about other stuff before we get out of here, but I hate making stuff on the thumbnail and not talking about it. They released the Madden cover, Athlete, and this tweet says it all. Christian McCaffrey tweeted out, "Lifelong dream come true, Madden 25 cover."
See you, bro. You're gonna get a busted leg or something.
The injury bug is finally going to catch up to him again. He's avoided it the last couple of years. Ever since he signed with San Francisco, he used to get injured all the time when he played for the Panthers. And since he came to San Francisco, he's been their workhorse.
He's gonna tear his ACL.
Yeah, it's something.
Oh, you're calling ACL, John?
I love you, buddy.
I'm calling ACL.
Yeah.
I'm maybe a calf injury or something.
Ariel says, "Man in the High Castle can be a slog to get through in some parts." I want to watch it again. Me and my wife tried, and we gave it 6 episodes, and it went nowhere, and we turned it off.
It is a slow burn, but it's such an interesting.
I was fixing to say I do want to watch it, but I'm probably going to be watching it myself. And E. Clay Thomas, who is a Niners fan, says, "No."
Yeah, he's gone, bro.
It's so interesting seeing the Germany side of that, and then you go to the West Coast and you see the Japanese side.
Oh, you're talking about Man in the High Castle?
Yeah, I think it's such a unique. It's one of those. I'm definitely a fan of alternate history,
right?
In any form, just like post-apocalyptic. I don't care what caused it. I just like to see the aftermath kind of thing.
But what do you think of the Madden cover guy? There.
I was listening to the radio yesterday when they were discussing it, the sports radio that we have here, and they were like, "Yeah, there's a couple people. There's a chance that what's his name, Lamar Jackson could have another chance. It's not unprecedented to have a second go at it.
Right.
But yeah, there was a couple that I agree, and McCaffrey was one of them. That there was a chance that he could be it. The one that intrigued me the most would have been C.J. Stroud. Mm-hmm. I felt like that would have been pretty cool.
It would have been cool.
Him on there.
After his rookie year, nobody expecting him to do near as well as he did, and he got that team to the playoffs when they were in the toilet the year before. And that would have been cool. But I saw something. I'm going to look up real quick and see if I can find it. But I saw somebody talking, I think it was on Facebook earlier today, and I know I commented on it, so I should be able to pull it up again.
I wanted to ask, what past injuries did Christian have?
Oh, it's always his knee.
It's always leg. Yeah, it's always leg.
It's leg injury.
It's running back. Okay, they're always getting tackled, and it's always getting landed on his leg.
Okay, so I'm going to go with.
I'm going to go with ACL.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what John said now.
Yep, ACL.
But it's funny. I saw a comment somewhere that was like, "Congratulations on the Raiders for finally getting on the Madden cover." And it's them chasing McCaffrey when he goes.
Right. Chasing McCaffrey. Well, I can't find the tweet or whatever it was, but somebody and I put a comment out on. Hang on, I might have found it. No, it's not it. One of my friends put something up. And they were talking about guys like they were showing a picture of McCaffrey, and then they showed a picture of one of. I actually have. Hang on one second. I'll show you the picture.
No, Ariel. I think there may have been in the past. John, you may be able to answer that. I don't think so. An NFL playing a CFL team. I don't think that was a thing.
No,
Yeah.
it's never happened that I know of.
No, not that I know of either.
What did I miss? What was it?
Ariel asked, has American football teams ever played Canadian football teams?
First of all,
No.
I don't
the
think
fields are
so.
different
No.
sizes. The
They
fields
have
are
not.
different sizes.
I mean, they could translate it if they. It would have been like a skirmish match. If
Now
anything.
this summer in Paris, they might play each other
Oh yeah,
That could be.
because we got flag football in the Summer Olympics now.
Yeah.
But anyway, my wife used to get me this every once in a while from
God, he Clay.
from from GameSpot, because I used to get it religiously every year, and she would get this from somebody that worked there and put the receipt in there because my birthday's before the release date, right? It's always in August, right around preseason time. But there was a picture of McCaffrey, and right below it was a picture of this guy, and this guy was caping for Zeke and why he should have been on the cover, and he had so many lead rushing seasons and blah, 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 blah. And this guy, McCaffrey got on there, and another guy named, Peyton Hillis got on there. And I had to put a comment in there. I was like, dude, Peyton Hillis was voted onto that cover, okay? Madden fans voted him on that cover. It had nothing to do with his stats.
Oh, that season, even still, that season, he was a badass.
He
that
was a
season.
beast.
You can call him a one-year wonder. I understand.
Yeah.
He was sick that season.
Yes, he was. Okay, what do you got here, brother?
I agree with E. Clay. I agree.
No.
This is a missed opportunity.
It was.
The
It
NFL could have profited off of it. I
don't
do
want
feel
any
it.
Chief related
Dude.
on any Madden cover. I freaked out when they had Patrick there twice.
Yeah, they had him back-to-back times. He was on
Look
there
at
in 21,
the
and
EA could have had the Swifties. They could have had
Yeah,
the
they
Swifties.
coulda.
Oh man.
Dude.
They could have had her playing at the Super Bowl. Every Super Bowl could have been a Taylor Swift concert at halftime. Oh man,
They could have had Taylor and Christian on the
what
same
are the
cover.
chances? Hey, what are the chances that she does the halftime at the Super Bowl this year? I wouldn't put it past them.
I will say, if they're
pretty
doing
funny.
good again, she'll be in the halftime show.
Who's doing good again?
The
The
team.
Chiefs?
Yeah,
I mean,
the Chiefs are
they're
doing
not
good.
going down anytime soon.
No,
I
If
don't
the
know
not.
Chiefs are doing good again, yeah.
If they were good, let me tell you something, buddy. If they were going to get knocked out of the playoffs before the Super Bowl, it would have been last year.
Yeah, I know.
Because they were not the top seed. They had to play every game on the road. And they got there anyway. They had the worst receiving core they had in their history. And they still won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, not in their history. Their worst one was that year that literally no wide receiver caught a touchdown.
That's true. There was a year
That is the worst one.
tight
That
ends
is by
and
far.
running backs were the only
exactly.
ones that caught
Exactly.
touchdown passes. Yeah, I forget about that one. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I'll always remember that one.
Rip Peyton
Oh, I-
Hillis. Is he passed away? I didn't know that. Really?
Oh.
It's
I
interesting.
think so.
I didn't know Peyton Hillis was dead.
I didn't know he was dead either.
The Briefs. He's calling them the Briefs.
Briefs. Oh, fucking. Wow.
But yeah, man. But you know what? I think Madden's numbers are going to be down this year.
Yeah, I think they will too.
Because of a little thing called NCAA 25. I think they're going to be down this year. I think people are going to be playing that. Even I, the guy that doesn't buy brand new video games, has put down money to buy this thing in the first week so I can play with my compadres, Mr. Das Wolfen and Mr. Knock.
Oh, I got something to tell you about that, by the way. Xbox had its summer sale.
Yeah. Look, also, real quick, talk about that. And I want you to give us a real quick, as we're closing up here, I want you to tell us about your what you thought of Showcase. That was, Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, it was Saturday, and we had Jace on there, and we had Pope on there. So it was me, Jace, and Pope.
Yeah,
Bryce
but
Diablo expansion.
was there anything good on there that you saw that looked exciting to you?
Actually, and we were talking about it. Actually, the Bethesda, what is it? Starfield. Starfield actually.
They got a DLC coming out, right?
They got a DLC coming out that makes it actually look pretty good.
Yeah.
And me and Pope were like, wow, they're actually talking about the house everybody talked about. And then that day they put mods on Starfield.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was like,
modded since the beginning. So I
yeah. Well, it was for Xbox, so
we know you're going to get it. Yep.
Yeah. So I just got it this last Christmas, but then they kind of fucked up and brought Joanna back from Perfect Dark, but she has this square jaw and looks like a dude.
Oh my god!
I was so pissed, and she didn't have her red hair.
Wow.
She looked like fucking Mr. Incredible from Incredibles.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, Jed.
She had a square jaw, bro.
The one that looks bad to me still, and of course they've backed it up a little bit.
They did because we talked about it.
But Fable,
yeah,
that chick looks hideous. But they've backed up the production, so maybe they'll change this girl's look. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they're changing.
I don't think they're going to do it because they did fix her.
I'm playing Fable next Tuesday. I'm a huge Fable fan. I love it, but if they don't change that girl's look, I am not buying it.
The new Fable pot was good.
Yeah, it was.
It has all the traditional snark, so I'm like, okay, if they're keeping that in there, there's still hope for the series.
Yeah.
Well, you know which series got a bad hit this with the showcase was Dragon Age.
Oh yeah,
a lot of backlash on that one.
Oh, it was bad. It was so, and then they're bringing back characters from my favorite, and then the last one that came out, and I'm like, so they're gonna do the thing that I remember. Oh, you remember? Yeah, that bullshit.
Oh, they're jangling keys at you?
Jangling keys at you, basically.
Oh, man.
The member berries.
And I can't believe this, but I'm actually considering playing a Call of Duty game.
I don't want to play it. I stopped playing.
Really?
Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I'm looking at it going, this looks fun. I don't like shooters, but the storyline's like, okay, I can get into the storyline.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the storyline? Tell us.
It's all post-Cold War with the collapse of the Soviet Union, and it's all spy thriller stuff, and you get from my understanding, get framed.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah,
will Ollie North make an appearance? Will we have?
I don't know, but
I would laugh.
Some gun running going on in South America?
I don't know about that, but the whole spot has George W. Bush on it, or George H.W. Bush.
Really?
Talking about the fall of the Soviet Union.
Wow. Did I show you guys the trailer for Reagan? Did I show you?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I've seen it.
I thought I showed you guys.
Yeah. I want to see that. Even
And
I tell you what gives this movie credibility to me. Okay, I was looking over their IMDb thing. Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay, so
go ahead. Finish what you're doing. Yeah.
So on the sale, they had the Mass Effect, the brand new edition they came out that had everything packed in.
Edition.
Yeah, they had the legend.
Yeah.
It was for $5.
Wow, nice.
I was like, okay, and then I got it, and then it was like $4 because I was a member because I'd been a member for so long. They knocked $1 off, so it was like for $4. So I got the whole Mass Effect trilogy, all the DLC, everything. But I already had all that shit. It's just on 3 separate things. But
when it's $5, Jed, you can get it on every console. So whatever you feel like playing at that time, or whatever's hooked up to your TV, that's what you can play it on.
Yeah,
it's like Skyrim. You play it on anything. You can play it on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So so I was like, okay, it's too cheap.
So I feel you. That's Fallout for me. I have it on console.
I was like, okay, it was $4.
Oh yeah. No, I don't blame you.
$4, I'm going to get the whole entire Mass Effect with everything, but I already had everything. It's like I bought in Skyrim 3 times over.
I have Fallout 4 on every format that they have.
Yeah, me too. And I bought when they came out with I bought Fallout 3 in Vegas, but then they came out with the Game of the Year editions, and I still had all that, but it was all in one disc.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I bought
By the way,
that too.
they also did, and I know Jed's not going to bring it up because I know he's not going to play it, but Star Wars Outlaw.
Yeah.
They had 10 minutes of gameplay for that one,
Yeah.
and one of the funnier comments was, "This is basically MJ from Spider-Man."
It is.
Wow.
You're just
really?
like crawling. You're just like sneaking about.
Oh,
And I saw one
she
scene where
does.
it's like she smacks a stormtrooper in the back of the head with her hand, and I'm like, how is that going to knock him out? It's literally a freaking helmet. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how that works. Apparently, those helmets aren't very good at concussion blows, I guess.
Well, I got to tell you what this movie Reagan that's coming out.
Era Origins is one of my favorites
But
in Dragon Age.
this is the deal. What gave it credibility to me? I'm sitting here going over the list now. C. Thomas Howell is listed in the cast, but it doesn't say who he's playing.
That's an all-star cast.
And I'm hoping it's going to be Oliver North because that's who I was looking for in the cast.
Yeah.
And he's not listed in the cast. Oliver North isn't. And C. Thomas Howell is in here. But the thing that really gave this credibility to me, if there's a right winger we know of, it's Robert Davi, and he's playing Leonid Brezhnev in it, dude.
You skipped John Voight.
Yep, John Voight's in it.
John Voight's
He's playing Victor Petrovich. Yep. I mean,
all the right wingers in this movie are all Russians. What's going on here?
And here's even funnier. I may have to pull it up. When I pulled it up on my phone, he was listed, but it's further down. Let me see where you where do you expand the list?
Leslie Ann Down is the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher.
Oh yeah. Which one? Who is?
Leslie Ann Down.
Leslie Ann Down. Yeah, she's playing Thatcher, but I'm not going to dig it up. Oh, here, all cast and crew. Okay, there you go. If you look down here, hang on, let me find this. It just blew me away when I saw it. Scott Stapp is playing Frank Sinatra.
Wait, Scott Stapp of
the lead singer of Creed. No bullshit. He is playing Frank Sinatra.
You know what? I'm going to see Creed in July too. That's so funny.
Creed,
he has to be playing Sinatra at a young age, of course.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
We all know Reagan was a movie star before he was ever a politician. Yeah. So that's got to be when he's in the movie. But it just blew me away that Scott Stapp, of all people, with Creed doing a comeback tour, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told you guys.
Creed's awesome, man.
But I proposed to my wife before a Creed concert. It was the first concert our arena that's close to us had. In 2001. So yeah,
I can go see Sabaton again. They're coming back through and hitting the other side of the state. They're hitting Kansas City.
Really?
In like November, and I'm thinking about going back again.
That's cool, man. You should. If you've got the money to do it, why not? Look, don't make the mistake I made. This same arena I'm talking about, I want to say it was about a year and a half before he died. They had Prince there. Yeah. And I told my wife we'll see him next time.
Yeah.
You don't know. Nothing's promised, man. If you love Sabaton, go see him every chance you get. Go see him every chance you get, John. You know what I mean?
But to go back to the Xbox thing real quick.
Yeah.
They showed the new World of Warcraft
they did.
expansion.
Okay.
And it drops actually in August.
Okay.
I'm in the beta. I haven't been on there yet. And they're also dropping a brand new expansion for Diablo 4.
Yep.
That looks pretty interesting.
I gave up on Diablo 4. They nerfed everything I liked about it.
Well, Diablo, it's had its ups and downs. I mean, you know, but I've never played that franchise. I don't even know what that one's about. I do seem to think. Am I wrong in assuming that they had a problem with one of the versions because they were going with like microtransactions out the ass for it or something?
Oh yeah, they got greedy as fucking people.
Oh, yeah, there was a mobile app.
It wasn't microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
What it was is they had a real money auction house where people could put stuff up in the auction house and people would buy it for cash, for actual real dollars.
Like Counter-Strike has had for years, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, that's tripping. Let's see. In 40 minutes, 9:05 Eastern, there is going to be a show on Klobby's channel. Yeah, they're probably going to have a memorial for him. C. Thomas Howell's going to be the Soul Man. That is a great movie, by the way. Couldn't make that movie today. There's no fucking way. But yeah, it's a great movie. I found prints, no fingerprints. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
What was I fixing to pull up? I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, one of our friends said that he sent me something. I can't remember where he sent it, but I'm gonna try and pull it up here before the end. But the showcase, I heard it went good this time, Jed.
Actually, it did.
I heard it had some good content, man.
So it's usually 40 to 45 minutes. Because I've been doing it on YouTube ever since they started it.
Yeah.
And this year it was 2 hours. I was shocked.
By the way, one thing I forgot to mention, Pat Sajak is retiring from Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, he already has. He gave his final. Yeah, I watched that. He was very cool. He was very cool in his final show, saying bye to everybody. You know, thought that. Do we know who's being replaced by yet? Do we know?
I saw something about a rumor of it being. Looks like Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest.
Ugh.
They try and push him on us with everything, don't they? Yeah. Last show, last Friday. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and Vanna White, the co-host, I guess.
Wait, Vanna's still there?
Yeah, Vanna's still there. Yeah, she's not going anywhere.
The showcase also actually got me interested in a Life is Strange game.
Okay, yeah. I'm half and half on that.
That's a heavy. I have
because I played the shit out of that game when it first came out.
I'm like, it looks like an interesting story, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give this a shot.
It's on the level of what's your favorite show? Your game, Joe? Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, love it.
It's on that level of emotional.
Yeah, it is
going on in that show. This is
Life is Strange. I'm sorry, Life is Strange.
I know you were.
Yeah, I started it. I started that game, but it was a little bit slow moving at the beginning.
It is. It's very slow moving, but it's hugely emotional. It's like it's on that vein right there. So it's an absolutely crazy show. I don't think I'll ever play it, but I really did enjoy watching one of my favorite streamers play it.
Yeah,
and it was really good.
Yeah, I played the shit out of that, and then at the end it gets really emotional.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I tried it, and that's the kind of thing that I get into, but it was really slow going. It was a slog.
It is. Yep.
But I may try it again.
It's not a Telltale game.
Right. I got you. Okay. Well, we're fixing to get out of here, guys. Vince, I tried to find what you were talking about on Gilded, but I just don't see it, man. If you sent me a direct message, I did not get it. I don't know where you put it, but
the comic historian died too.
What's that now?
The comic
historian. Yeah, I didn't know that guy. I did not know him. I had heard about him, but I did not know him.
Wait, is that the reason why there's been no stuff on his YouTube page yet?
Yeah, he had some weird. I don't know the details, but he had some sort of freak accident and died. He's only 40.
Yeah, he's young. Yeah.
Keely
Chow. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jed.
I was trying to talk to him to get him over to the Archivist, but he said he had a lot of things going through, so I never got him over there.
Now, we're not talking about the Comic Relief Crusader now. We're talking about the comic
historian. I'm talking about him. Yeah, I tried to get him over a couple times, but he said he was always busy. So.
Well, Keely Chow says, rip both Jerry West and Clobber and Times. Yeah, we talked about them at the beginning of the show. I try and get the bummer stuff out at the beginning. And Star Wars. Clay Thomas says, "No, look, this is one thing that I can't stand about our circle of friends and some of the guys in it. They say things are dead. I'm sorry, nothing's ever dead. That you can have good stuff come out. It's just the stuff they've been presenting lately is not good."
Well,
you know.
No, at this point, it's cautiously optimistic about everything that comes out.
Doctor Who is dead.
You're prepared to be disappointed, but
Oh no,
you hope that it's good.
I will say this: Doctor Who is dead. There's no regenerations. You're not coming back from this.
Okay.
What if they brought Mark Smith back?
Let's go ahead and put the link for that show. Now, I have a show at 10, and I'll explain all that shit here in a minute. But I do want to highlight one more time our good friend,
I need to see who's doing that show to see if I can get.
Well, I can tell you who's doing it. Mark C with a D.
Okay.
Or excuse me, Mark D with a C is doing it, and Raquel. They said they were going to monitor. They were going to take care of his channel while he was down. And his son's been playing the channel. They've been doing a show every night.
Yeah.
And they've been playing it for him to try and get him in better spirits. Because he's been on a ventilator, guys. I mean, he did wake up. He did wake up, but he has passed away, guys. If you don't know, he passed away at 3:15 today.
Yeah, I got it.
And I do want to go ahead and get his. First of all, we want to get his. Let me share this again. I thought I was done sharing things. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so this is his GoFundMe page. I'm going to put it in the chat. This is Clobby's GoFundMe page for his funeral. Actually, they started it just for his future, whatever it was going to be. Clobby's GoFundMe. And I want you guys, if you have the means, go help him out. We all love Clobby, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit for that.
Just out of respect, you know. Go help him out. And anyway, yeah, that's the GoFundMe page for him. He was the biggest Star Trek fan I know on the net, and
he was the definitive Star Trek. Yeah,
you know, love the guy to death. He was always really good to me, and I do want to go ahead and put the link for his show up there too. Hang on one second, let me get that. There he is, Clobbering Times, and that show should be listed under live. It should be upcoming. Yeah, well, that's the 15th. Where's the one for tonight? What is today? 12th, guys? Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, today's the 12th.
Okay. So this is going to be the link for that one. It starts in, looks like half an hour. Probably, I'm just going to call it Clobby's Memorial because I guarantee you that's what it's going to be. And you guys try and visit it. I'm gonna try and punch my head in there for a minute, if nothing else, to send a super chat. But that's where it's going to be. It's going to be on his channel. There's the chat for it. Go ahead and put my notification on. But anyway, you guys try and get over there and say hi to those guys. Mark and Raquel have been doing some great stuff over there. Just trying to keep him in good spirits, trying to get him to recover, you know. It's a sad thing what happened to him. Hey, man, act like every day's going to be your last, you know. Tell the people you love them, and tell your friends you're there for them and all that good stuff. As soon as I found out about this, I typed in the chat. I was like, look, guys, I'm 4 hours away. If you need me, call. You know what I mean? Because he's down in Baton Rouge, right here in my state.
Yeah.
So. My fellow Louisianian Clobby, rest in peace, brother. We're going to miss you. Our corner of YouTube is less because you're not here. Okay, boys and girls, let me let you know what's going on with the channel. we've got State of the Atmosphere every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Just a bunch of friends talking about pop culture stuff. You guys come by and check out the pop culture update and everything else we're going to talk about. We're going to keep reviewing The Acolyte, even though it's going to chap friggin' Jed's ass. But we're going to keep reviewing it because Knock holds out hope that Star Wars can be turned around. And later on tonight, it's Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. Go by Clobby's channel and check out that, and then come back and see me. Okay, I'll be on tonight doing part 11, I think it is, of Mass Effect. I did part 10 last week. I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting better at that game. I really am.
No,
you guys...
Tim said Knock is just crazy.
I'll check the chat before we get out of here. Come check this out at 10 p.m. Central Time on my channel. And then Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time, you can check out Sketching the Privateer. I am done with the family portrait, and I am now doing the inking and coloring process. So come check that out. I'll show you what I'm doing on Procreate this week on Sketching the Privateer at 1 p.m. Central Time. And then Friday, it's The Walking Dead Telltale series. It's Knock and sometimes Jed hanging out with Game Night with John. Das Wolfen plays The Walking Dead on Pop Culture Mindfield's channel every Friday night at 8 p.m. So go check that out, if you will. And then Sunday, it's The Brothers Hack the Matrix. Everything you need to know about the clown show that is 2024 through the week's headlines. Get together with us every week at 5 p.m. on Sunday to check that out. And then Monday, my busiest day of the week, and I'm never on my own channel. We start with not that show. Let's start with the one I start with. Yeah, Pop Culture Minefield, Military Monday. We're going to be doing a review of Breaker Morant. We'll let you know what's going on with that one, military-wise and everything else, with Gary and Anima and Martin over on Pop Culture Minefield channel. And Pope Metallicus has been on there a lot here.
Yeah, and Pope and Pope's he was on the Xbox show, so Pope's gonna probably show up.
Cool. Yeah, Pope's been getting around. He's been getting
awesome.
He's been a YouTube whore. He's been a YouTube whore. He's getting around. So. Yeah. But anyway, come check that out. 10 a.m. Central Time on Monday, and then Monday at 3. It's Wrestling Monday Nitrous with Ryan Roger Athay. We talk about the history of wrestling. I believe we're covering ECW this Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time. So come check that out on Ryan Roger Athay's channel. And then the one I popped up by accident, that 70s Rock Fans channel, we're going to be doing the original Death Race 2000. The Roger Corman.
I need to talk to 70s because I love this movie. I got to be there for that if I can
get on there and talk to him. Okay. Anyway, it's from 1975. It's before Rocky and Sylvester Stallone breakout hit, but this is post-porn days and pre-Rocky days for Sylvester Stallone. So
movie is awesome, by the way.
It is awesome. It's funny as hell, man. Some of the shit that goes on in this is amazing. It's a lot of fun. Come check it out. Roger Corman, we lost last month, so no better way to do a science fiction show than to commemorate one of his best movies, Death Race 2000 from 1975. We're going to do it at 4 p.m. Central Time on That 70s Rock Fans channel. And then Tuesday, on Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails, I'll be playing Fable 3. I don't have the thumbnail up for it, but I am going to be playing that one next week. I decided because I saw the Fable stuff on the showcase there, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I need to play some Fable. It's been a while, so come check that out Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time as I start my streaming week, and that brings us right back around to State of the Atmosphere. So let's check the comments in the chat real quick before we get out of here. Tim says, Clobby, he was the most human. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people have been using Star Trek quotes. That's the famous quote from The Wrath of Khan when William Shatner's giving his eulogy. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Knock is just crazy, Tim says. That's right. Hey, yo. Yeah, talking about talking about Sly Stallone right there. And before David Carradine, well, David Carradine, I forgot, is in that movie.
Yeah, he's good in that movie.
Yeah. I love David.
He's the main character.
Yeah, he is. David Carradine, I got to tell you guys, I love him. He's one of my favorite actors ever. I liked Kung Fu, and I actually watched, and I wish I could find out where I can watch every episode of Kung Fu: The Legend Continues.
And
They
I
put
have the hookup.
they put a kid with him that looked just like Rick Springfield as his like bastard son or something, and he's a cop, and it's just a notch above CW level, if you understand what I'm saying. But it is fantastic. I love that show. I thought the kid not knowing martial arts was great. I thought it was fantastic. You know, he's just a regular cop. It was really good. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for being here. Like, share, and subscribe to all our channels and everything, and all that good stuff that all the YouTubers call out for. But remember, let's remember Klobby today. He passed away at 3:15 today. Go by Klobby's channel and check in on him. I'm sure Mark and Raquel will appreciate it. I'm sure they may even bring in guests tonight to talk about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen an invite for me yet, but they might do that. I don't know. But go check that out. It starts in 21 minutes on Klobby's channel. But for tonight, I want to thank you for being here. And I do have to read this from Ariel. She kind of jumped the gun with it, but we always got to address her final notes to everybody. Then until next time, everyone, stay out of trouble or don't get caught. I'm gonna go on the don't get caught part.
Yeah.
And Eclay says good night, and Tim says good night, Klobby, and Flights of Angels sing thee to thy rest. That's right. Okay. Well, listen, guys, you know what I'm going to tell you. Until I see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. Jed, stop staring at my wife's chest and go over to Klobby's channel.
Listen, I am so proud of Jed for this show. Man,
Yes.
he held back. I appreciated it, Jed. Thank you for letting us talk our little Star Wars thing. I know how much you want to explode on it.
Yeah.
So, good man.
But you guys get over to Klobby's channel and stop staring at my wife. I'll talk to you later.